What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. A week ago, I packed up and went down to the IV-8 88 range day in Georgia.
Going hot! Oh, God.
Basically, what that is it is an event that brings all your vendors, brings all of the guns and gear and all of the cool stuff, and your creators together. So all of your favorite YouTubers, your Instagrammers, lots of big names were there, and we get to run up and down the line and try out all of the new products. Basically, we just exchange information, and when we come back, we have T&E, testing and evaluation. We get product, guns, things like that, and we get to bring them to you and review them, tell you the good and the bad and the ugly. But anyway, I went down with AR15.com. You guys probably know that I film over there. I have a ton of fun. Andrew, Paul, they're all a blast. We just get together and have way too much fun. But anyway, let's get back on topic. And of course, as I walked around the event, I ran into a fella named Mark Novak from Anvil Gunsmithing. He has a YouTube channel, and I'll link to it below. And of course, if you don't know who Mark is, he is a very interesting fella.
The PigStick! The Schweinstock! Nice!
I've known him for a couple of years, and I'm very glad that I do. Now, when I walked up to him, he was holding this particular shotgun. He looked at this fella, and he says, "Hey, look at this guy." He said, "We got drunk in a hurricane a couple years ago, and now he thinks we're friends." And then he just turns around and hands it to me and says, "Here, Pat," he said, "I figured you'd be the person to send this on a few adventures with." He said, "You're going to carry that one back to Tennessee, will you?" And dadgummit, I did. So what is the rundown of this thing? Of course, Mark took some really bad boogered up woodwork, and he did some acrylic glass work, made this thing go together. He hand checkered the forearm, hand checkered the grip. You know, it had the original roll checkering. He cut all that off and then hand checkered it, and man, it feels really nice. It's really positive. And of course, probably one of the reasons that he thought that I should take this home, you guys know I put LPVOs on my levers, and he put an LPVO on the slug gun. And he put a Hastings rifled barrel in it. This is a French-made barrel. Of course, it didn't have this comp on it. We'll cover that in a minute. But this is a French-made barrel that has its own rifling in it. So you can run saboted slugs. You could run Foster slugs. It's been discontinued, but I found some information where I shouldn't run Remington slugs. So it's kind of tough to make sure I don't buy rebranded Remington slugs, because it said Remington slugs will ruin your barrel. So we're going to avoid those at all cost. So now what he's done is right here on the end of it, he has put this cuts compensator. This cuts compensator just adds to the madness. And I don't know if it is just simply the weight of the gun, or if that cuts compensator really is that effective. I didn't get to shoot it before and after. But basically what it is just a threaded collar that you put on here and silver solder, and then you thread down the cuts compensator on here. Now this cuts compensator, I went ahead and checked it. It is not a full-size choke. That was one of the comments that I got over in another section. Somebody was like, "Oh, you run slugs through it, you're going to blow it up." No, I can take a dime in there and rattle it around. There's plenty of room in here to run slugs. Of course, since the barrel was so long, he slapped a big old mag tube on here. This bad boy holds 10 rounds. So it is a semi-automatic 10 round, effectively a 75 caliber rifle. Of course, I'm running saboted slugs, so it's not quite 75, but if I can find a chunk of lead to run down it, it will be. So now, what I wound up doing was taking this thing down to the range, and I zeroed it.
Do you need ears?
I'm sorry. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
And it actually did zero. I was kind of concerned about the recoil and this optic. Nope. So, of course, these are mine. Disregard these. There was another fella there. He asked if he could use my target, and I said, of course, I can tell the difference in your holes and my holes. Of course, we had two that were touching. And just like that, man, 3 MOA. Of course, that was $4, $8, $12 to shoot that group. But man, has this been a lot of fun. But the fact that 2 of them are touching and 1 of them's off, I'm curious if this wouldn't be considered a flyer. We're going to have to take more ammo to the range. Of course, right before hunting season, before I take this thing out, we're going to reconfirm And there'll be a lot of shooting between here and there too, so we may just get this thing shrunk down just a little bit. This is just the preliminary. Now, she's not the most accurate thing in the world, but I'm going to work on that. My first range session, I netted a 3 MOA group. So 3 inches, 3 shots, and actually 2 of them were touching. But that cost $12 to do. So huge thanks to my Patreon supporters for giving me support. At $12 for a 3-round group, I'm going to need plenty of help. Of course, after I got 3 rounds and 3 inches, I ran straight back down there and bought 3 more boxes of slugs out of the same lot number. It's the American Whitetail. I'm running a 325 grain. Now the box says it's supposed to be doing over 1,800 feet per second. I found that it is doing shy of 1,700, which is quite a bit of difference. And the fact that I was actually able to get this thing to group, I don't think the barrel is shot out. I don't think that's what's causing my velocity difference, but I'm going to have to figure it out. But quite frankly, a lot of you are like, 3 MOA? Well, to tell you the truth, yeah, you can sit there and tell me that I am so far off of a dot, you know, when we're talking about paper. You can criticize me. But the thing is, this is a pig stick, dude. If I shoot a whitetail with it, all that whitetail knows is that something intrusive just hit my heart muscles. It doesn't care if it's 1 or 2 inches away. It doesn't matter. That deer knows it's over with. You next shot a hog, ain't no thoughts coming through its mind. It's not going to complain that you're a couple inches off. So anyway, this thing delivers the force. 1,700 feet per second with that big old heavy projectile. So man, I'm getting some muzzle energies of about 2,000 foot-pounds. And I don't mind that at all. Dude, if I can touch it, it's going down. This thing is absolutely going to put the smackdown on it. So now, as for the social media part, if you'll follow hashtag anvilpigstick, that's what's unique. Today, I have got my own hashtag, anvilpigstick. It used to be hashtag East Eddywall. That was me. So now I've got anvilpigstick and hashtag adventures with pigstick. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll see it. Of course, hit those hashtags as well, and it'll pull up every video and every picture that I do with it, because I do plan on, between here and January, having a ton of adventure with it. Of course, at the end of it, I'm going to make one big video and put it on ar15.com, so you guys really need to be over there and be ready. But yeah, to the hand, this thing feels really nice. It is extremely long, extremely unhandy, but boy, the ergos are there. And now this optic, what is really cool about this optic is it has got a circle in the reticle. So now I did say that this is a 3 MOA gun, right? Basically, the reticle has got the nice little ring. So theoretically, everything in the circle dies. It's the donut of death. I thought that was really neat. Of course, he had to silver solder this on. He had to silver solder the brake on. There is quite a bit of work. You can go to his video where he created this thing down below. And man, just the amount of work that went into this. He told me, he said, originally the video was almost 3 hours. He said, dude, he said, I had to cut it down to 1.5 hours to have something that we could actually upload and people could actually watch. But now what's cool is in the comment section, quite a few people were like, man, why was it only 1.5 hours? I really could have watched more. I thought that was really cool. So now, I did watch the video. I watched it personally when it first came out. And I was sitting there and I thought it was a really neat piece of equipment. But I'll tell you, it's an even neater piece of equipment when you can watch the video and have this thing sitting in your lap. I thought that was so cool. It's not very often that you get your hands on another creator's gun. You know, I got my hands on a YouTube gun. And that added this, I don't even know how to say it. What would you say? In a video, it's 2D. You know, you're just watching a 2D. Effectively, I'm getting this thing in 3D and 4D. Because, I mean, I can feel it. I can listen to it. I can actuate it. And I've been shooting it. And golly bum, is she fun. And, yeah, she's an expensive date. But boy, do I love her. PigStick is awesome. I really like PigStick. So now if you'll look right there, they printed off a 3D printed butt plate. It says Novak automatic. And something else that's really cool is this scroll work in this receiver. Years ago, the first firearm that I purchased with a 4473, I purchased quite a few before I was technically able to have them. That's been over 20 years ago. I don't think they could prove it or indict me now. But now, as for this one, the Remington 1100 that I purchased had the same receiver. It's the first 4473 that younger Pat, literally half my life ago, younger Pat owned. And so when I saw the receiver, it just brought back so many memories. And I wish I still had the old girl. It was a ton of fun. And literally, like I said, it was the first one that I knew I didn't have to hide because I was officially of age. Just had so much fun with it. So now, if you've enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. Hit that thumbs up. Matter of fact, if you give me 500 thumbs up, I'll do a video where we dissect one of those $4 shotgun shells. I'll go through and show you the anatomy of it, how it works and all that. So make sure to give me 500 thumbs up. Also, make sure to share it somewhere. If the ad revenue gets high enough, I might be able to keep this thing. That would be pretty cool. But anyway, also, thanks to my Patreon supporters. Without my Patreon supporters, I couldn't afford to feed this big Mahusive pig. Mahusive. I think that's a pretty good name. Anyway, hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you next video. I love you. All right, guys. I'm here with Mark Novak from Anvil Gunsmithing. And if you've seen his PigStick video, this thing has been wildly popular. Well, anyway, we're down here at the IV8888 range day. And yesterday, he walks in and says, "You're going to carry this thing back to Tennessee with you." And I said, machine gun.
Women.
Yeah,
Shooting machine guns.
Women with machine guns. But yeah, he said, "You're going to carry this thing back to Tennessee and you're going to work your magic with it." And I am just beside myself to carry this thing back. I was asking him last night, I said, "Do you reckon that I'm just redneck enough for him to think that I would appropriately enjoy this thing?"
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. No, the issue was this. I was not going to have enough time. This was going to go back and sit in the corner until I got back and trimmed it out a little bit. And it's just too nice right now. It has to have that little beat the crap look for it. And you have the time, the means, the place. You have time to hunt.
Yep.
And I just wanted to see if you can run it. This thing's got a fully rifled barrel on it. So we're going to see. We're going to see. Whether or not this is going to hold up or not.
Yep.
Good.
But yeah, he has even got his name embossed right here in the buttstock, man. This thing is all right. So stay tuned for some attention.
Well, he's either going to do that or blow the cuts off the nose of it. It doesn't matter. We're just going to find out. As always, it's a good time for a good smoke.
Absolutely.